what that kid, even Dowman in the Everton game, he picked up the ball from his box. You might as well say, when he headed it down, he was virtually just outside the 18-yard box. And he ran the length. He beat, and he didn't, and it wasn't just one, he brushed past one, and then he skipped the other one and ran all the way. Now, Martinelli weren't on the pitch. We ain't got nobody in the team that can, you already just said Saka can't, it's like he can't run anymore.
That brings me on to my next thing. My next question, do we have a Saka problem? And I'll go to that. I'll go to a tip first.
Well, I just think obviously, players. He obviously came back from his injury, which is well documented, and then he's now got his new contract, and obviously he's not been completely terrible, but obviously it seems like he's not the player that he was before he got that injury. And he's not having the best of times when it comes to his performances at the moment. So at the moment, we kind of do have a problem because he's not delivering the way we would want him to deliver, because it goes back to the Dowman. I'm not throwing nobody under the bus, definitely not Saka, but it goes back to what I'm saying. When people pick up the ball and they run at you, there's no fear. They know their close control is excellent, and there's only one thing that you could do is pull that person down, foul them, or try and make a sliding tackle, get the ball out, or whatever. We ain't got, if Martinelli is not on that pitch, we ain't got nobody that could do that. And we needed that today. So 20 minutes to go, bring him on. Give them something else to think about. They didn't have nothing to think about today. Everything was in front of them. And Havertz ain't going to do that. Gyökeres ain't going to do that. Saka's not up to speed. You know what I'm saying? So, the chances of us getting back into that game, unless it was from a set piece, was very slim. So I do think we have a problem. Right back to the question, I do think we have a little problem at the moment.
What do you think, MB?
I think the problem isn't like getting rid of Saka. I think Arteta's got to get to a point where it's like, who am I building this team around? Because Saka's been our best player for the best part of 4 years.
Yeah.
But you've never built a team around him. You've always made him have to figure it out. Okay, so Saka is, before the injury, Saka's a player that can pick up the ball from his own half turn you, and he's gone. You didn't give him runners. You gave him Kai, and Kai was playing centre mid, and we were having Eddie and Nketiah up front. Then Saka is now, when Odegaard went down last season, beginning of the year, Saka was doing insane things. Like, I don't think people understand what Saka was really doing. He was going to put up stupid numbers. Like, I remember, I think it was the game against Leicester, Saka was literally creating from nothing. Like, and I was like, he's in the form of his life. Like, he doesn't even realize how good he is. But again, you didn't help him. And now we're at a point where Saka's body, I don't think it's even his body, I think it's his mind, because Saka doesn't, I've seen Saka in certain instances when he's in full flow, he's the same guy, but it's his mind. If Saka is not thinking, you will clock that he can actually sprint at a certain speed. Like, Saka got injured again against Leeds. There was that match day 2.
Yeah, it was.
When he tried to cut in and he did hand. He came back, you watch him against Fulham. Does that look like someone that's having hamstring issues? He was torching them. He was running, but it's a mental thing. When I did my ACL, I couldn't slide tackle for like 8 months. Not because I couldn't do it. Mentally, I'm not going down on my side to slide tackle. I'm like, what if my knee just makes a mad sound again? Because when I got injured, that's how it felt. You know what I'm trying to say? Saka's not going to bomb down and cross in his right foot, because Palace away, what happened? Hamstring exploded. Then when he cut in and did it against Leeds to pass it, his hamstring exploded again. It's a mental thing. And I think we had to be more careful in how we brought Saka back in. I think when we had Noni got injured against City with his knee. I remember he had like a little knock, and Saka came in and he played well. But I said, Arteta had to kind of be like, Saka, until you're ready to realise that if you don't play your best, like, I'm not making it comfortable for you. Not because I don't think you're the player you are, because Saka's still Saka. I think Saka's biggest attribute has always been his IQ. Today, you put Saka in the 10, he's going to create something. Even if he's not having a good game, Saka just needs about 5 yards to create something. And the Wolves game, when he played 10, he scored a goal. And I think in the first half, if anything was going to happen, it's through Saka. I don't think it was amazing. I don't think it was torturing them, but it's the little margins.
So how do you feel about it? How do you feel about him?
Personally, so I've been very, and obviously Saka, I agree with MB in that, especially from an attacking standpoint, he's been our talismanic player for the last 3-4 years. He's been the player that we all look to. And I think that I still think he's our best attacking player.
100.
I also think, and what I agree with is that he hasn't really, I feel like he has to do more as a winger than some other wingers in his position that maybe he's compared to. Like you look at a Salah, for example. Obviously Salah's a better player, but Salah doesn't defend in the same way that Saka's asked to defend.
Yeah, and Martinelli.
If you watch PSG, if you watch Barca and you look at Yamal and Elise, they're not asked to be to defend and do as much in the defensive shape as Saka's meant to, or any of our wingers, to be honest, because of the shape, which is a pro and con, because ultimately that's also one of the reasons why we're so good defensively and so good in that side of the game. However, I do look at Saka and I gave him grace in that I was thinking maybe he's managing his body, because some players, we've all played football. Sometimes you manage yourself through the game when you know that you're either carrying something or you're coming back from an injury. Let me manage kind of when I explode, pause, or like let me manage myself when I'm like not sprinting too much. Someone like repeat sprints. Like how many can I do before?
So do you think that's a management problem then?
No. I don't think it's a management problem. I think that players do it all the time. Like they manage themselves through games to make sure that.
I hear you, but I hear what you're saying. But attacking players win games 9 times out of 10, or 8 times out of 10, 7 times out. How you want to? The averages say so. If you know that your player is not physically up to it, then you shouldn't be playing him.
No, so let me finish what my point was saying. In terms of, so I agree to an extent with that. So and let me clarify. When I say he's managing himself through games, I don't think that physically he's not
up to
like fit. I think he's fit. I think that mentally
because of what he's gone through, because of the
injuries. So you got to think he had a massive injury. Tore his hamstring, had to have an operation. Probably now come back and he's thought, I'm back now, I've done everything. Sprints out and has like if you remember the Leeds game, it was quite a long sprint and he's opened up his body. That might have been one of the first times that he's really opened up, and then he's got injured again, hamstring again. So I think now, mentally, I don't know if he's necessarily thinking I'm gonna go at 100 miles an hour consistently, because it might go again.
But that's where I'm coming from.
But that's not a manager issue. I think, a Saka having to overcome it.
But they must have that conversation, though, innit?
No, but I don't think he's. So if you ask Saka, he's probably saying, "I'm not doing that. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
So I'm fine. I'm cool. I just know my body, so I know when to sprint, when to go. Because that's also good pros know that as they age, they get better at sprinting all the time. When Henry, when he was young, it was always running at full pace. As he got older, he started to slow down, and the game came a bit easier to him. Pause, and then he would be able to manage games better. So maybe he's thinking in his head, that's what I'm doing. But if I'm honest, I don't think Saka is good enough to not use his physical attributes that he has. I think, as well as his decision making, and be able to not use those things to be at his top level. I think that if you look at it, I think he's technically better than a Mane. But someone like Mane, if Mane stopped being physical, strong, fast, stop being like strong in challenges, then you're taking away a big part of his game. I know Saka's technically a good player and
he's strong too.
And he's strong. But then if you're not using your physical capabilities, you're not using your pace because you're not sure about your injury, then you get a Saka, to me, that isn't as effective. and you add to that a bit more greedy, a bit more selfish, going for more shots. Because to me, again, Saka's best quality, aside from his physical attributes, was his decision making. If he's now shooting because he wants to score, or he's thinking about scoring or GA when he should pass, again, you're taking it. So now you're taking away his physical capabilities and you're taking away his decision making. Then you've got what we have now. So I think that while I don't think it's something that's irreversible or he can't get his form back, I think that unless he changes those things, then he's not going to be the player that we've seen in the last couple of years.
Well, it's like, for me, it's like, I hear what you're saying and, you know, I agree with some of it, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, football is a results business. Yeah. It's not about how you, whatever is, because these are things that you as a player, you need to discuss with your manager. And if he's saying that I am fit, I am ready to go, then I need you to do the things that you need to do to get up the pitch, to get the ball in, to score us goals, to make the passes at the right time, to be strong when you need to be strong. If you're in the team, you need to deliver those things.
But I feel like Saka's definitely not fit, but I feel like he's also struggling with the fact that he's had a Timber this year who hasn't really been as dynamic. He hasn't really played it right. Saka's a player that there's a couple games when you watch it back, we started Noni torched his fullback, but didn't get change out of him. Like, you torched your fullback, but you're not leaving him any kind of goal or assist. Saka will make one movement. I think it was the Bournemouth away. Noni destroyed that fullback the whole game. He came off. I think it's maybe 1-1 or 2-1.
Yeah.
Saka makes 1 running behind, cut back, Declan Rice tapping. And what Saka's biggest strength is, like, is his decision making, but he's a high percentage player in terms of like, when Saka's in the box, even when he's having a bad game, you go read these numbers, most chances created. Like, how has he even done that? You didn't even see it in real time. But it's because Saka's, I think his decision making is bad in shooting. I think this year he's been a bit more greedy, and I think it's because he knows he's not getting into the positions as much as he used to. Like, he knows he's not really getting shots off a game like he used to. So when he does get one, instead of him to pass it, he's being really greedy.
No, I don't. I mean, to me personally, I was greedy when I used to play football. You know what I mean? So I don't mind him being greedy so long as you deliver or you get because if I want to take that opportunity, take the chance to say, well, boy, I take this goal, I go for this and me now pass. Then 9 times out of 10, when I was playing, I would score. You understand me? But then this is what we were saying in the last podcast. Well, when you're in the position, make the right choice. Make the right choice when you're in there. If it's time to pass. If you think you got a chance where it makes more sense for me to go on my own, then go on your own. But I don't know. I just think that he's not delivering right now. You understand me? Which is, and we need him as our star player to deliver.
I think Saka's got an issue because I think Dowman is a talent where you can't keep him on the bench. Like,